It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. From TD Garden in Boston, tonight, the Boston Celtics taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Celtics control the opening tip, and we're underway in downtown Boston. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
And good. It's a three-point play on the first possession of the game. It's in the hands of Philadelphia. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Off Ben Simmons. Jay, for once, Trader Danny was Danny Ainge. Celtics didn't do that much, but Eastern Conference didn't see much change either.
Yeah, they didn't need to do anything if you're the Boston Celtics. You already have all the pieces to the puzzle. There's no doubt about it. The Celtics are now in the driver's seat.
Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Free throw's good. Three-point play, and that puts them up 6-0. Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way.
Now push it. Let's attack in transition so we can build this lead.
Flushes it home. This is already getting out of hand.
Coaching strategy 101. You probably want to utilize a timeout to disrupt the pace of this other team. This game is starting to get out of hand quick and early.
Celtics have it. Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
This comes down to great execution both on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. Let's see if they can carry this into the second quarter.
Now a whistle and a timeout for Philadelphia as they'll go over some tactics now in this first quarter of play. Enes Kanter tips it. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Leadership's greatest values occur in between the lines and not necessarily in the box score. And that's the type of leader that Al Horford is. He's the first all-star free agent to choose Boston in decades. And let me tell you this. The legacy of greatness runs deep in the family. His father, Tito Horford, was the first Dominican basketball player to ever play in the league, which goes to show you why Al has such a great feel for the game.
Count it, and the foul. He is going to the line for a free throw.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Free throw up and good as they open things up to a 13-point lead. Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Shot from in close, no good. To end on that one, 94 feet for the basket.
Whew, I don't think anyone saw this one coming, but it looks like they're trying to send a message. Look into their eyes. They're laser focused. They're playing as if this game is tied.
Richardson, knocked loose. That's out. Last touch by Josh Richardson. And scores. Strong take.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way.
Why not? Let's keep the crowd in it.
Jay, what's the next step for Ben Simmons?
MVP, Ed. To win the MVP. But perception is reality. And I've been hearing this stuff from a lot of people who have been watching Ben Simmons show out this past summer on IG. Ben Simmons needs to get back to the lab, stay in the gym, continue to work on that jump shot. Because this is still a team that lost 1-4 to the Celtics without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward.
Celtics have it. Give him 2 points. High percentage.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
So important to take care of the basketball. Easy 2 on the other end after the turnover. Knocked loose. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Oh, he should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Free throw's good as they continue to widen their lead. Philadelphia with the basketball. Simmons to Tobias Harris. Celtics have it. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Free throw's good as they add on to this big early lead. Sixers call for time as they'll talk things over here in the first quarter.
Check this out. The first 1,000 fans in our next home game will receive a free team poster. Even better, 3 lucky fans will win a poster that's been signed by the entire
Enes Kanter with the block. Couldn't keep it in. Out off Tobias Harris. Hayward. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Oh, nice find for the basket.
Finally something goes their way. I don't think I need to tell you, but this has been a disaster of a first quarter. They just need somebody to get hot, and then they need to come together as a team and get a few stops.
Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way. Rises for the slam. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Oh, ferocious slam inside. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
Trying to cash in. A shot no good by Harris.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning the ankle on that landing.
That's a turnover. It goes the other way. To the rim. Lays it up and in.
Not a travel if it looks pretty.
Sixers have the basketball. To Richardson. Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
We played one here at TD Garden with the Celtics on top. Jay and I back to Boston. After this, you're tuned into the NBA on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter.
Tonight, everyone gets free pizza.
And Boston has the rebound. To Nowitzki. Working the outside. Runner's good there.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Knocked loose. Defense forces the turnover, and it leads to points. Now a whistle and a timeout for Philadelphia as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter.
Hey fans, have you seen the latest items in our silent auction? Have a look for yourself in the
To Richardson. Knocked loose. Celtics have it.
Keep your foot on the gas, but don't get too reckless.
Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
And look out. Big finish at the rim.
You know, Ed, the effort is what concerns me the most. Effort is replenishable. If you're tired, raise your hand, check yourself out. Get somebody who actually wants to get back in transition and play some defense. That will help your team win the game, not you just staying in the game to be better on offense.
To Nowitzki. Cantor. And scores.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
And stuffs it home. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Time to shuffle things up.
For the 76ers, number 12.
Sixers finally break through. 52 wins last year. But, Jay, where do they factor in a top-heavy Atlantic division?
I still see this team finishing on the outside looking in. What I mean by outside is the 2 or 3 spot. I think this is Boston's division to lose, Boston's conference to lose. But still, the question mark still is around Ben Simmons and his ability to shoot the ball down the stretch.
Ah, tough shot. Hand in his face, he makes them pay.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Free throw's good. It's a 3-point play. This big first half continues. Sixers control it. Knocked loose. Great hustle. That's what you like to see. Hayward to Nowitzki. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Here's a tip for your defense. You can't give him that much space. You have to push up into his personal space and make him play the majority of the possessions with his back to the basket. Because if you allow him to open up, there's no stopping him.
Simmons into the front court. His guys down big. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
One more to his total. Here's Simmons with it up top. Down a bundle. Knocked loose. Celtics have it. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Count it at the line. It's in the hands of Philadelphia. Simmons driving, but a shot no good. Probing the defense. It's a big finish. This is becoming a runaway.
They're getting to the rim at will, probably because we're watching Matador defense. You probably want to get in the way of your defender if they keep trying to attack the rim.
Count the basket inside.
It's almost like he had the defender on a string, and he's the puppet master.
Tough shot, and nearly a chance at a three-point play. No foul.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way. And finishes strong.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Into the front court comes Simmons. Final minute, first half. Knocked loose. Joel Embiid swats it.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Perfect feed to set up the basket.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Celtics have it. To Nowitzki. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
Free throw good. A three-point play as they move in front here just before the break. Knocked loose. Doesn't have the touch. No good. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
The assist from number 20, Gordon Hayward.
No good. No daylight. Great defense. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
The Celtics have built a comfortable lead. They certainly staked the flag in the paint. They were dominant around the rim on the offensive end. These are the guys getting buckets for the Boston Celtics. The 76ers have yet to appear after one half of basketball. There isn't enough time to get into all of their problems, but I'll tell you this, they need to try to get better. These are the guys getting buckets for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Game track. Points in the paint. Player of the half.
I like this choice because he really put on a show in the opening half. There's a reason he's a fan favorite.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in that first half. Here's our top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way.
Maybe pace it right here. They got a big lead at home.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Free throw's good as they continue to widen their lead. To Richardson. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
You got to know your personnel. That's not someone you want to send to the line for a free 2.
First one, count it. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
throw good to cap off the three-point play as they continue to open things up here in the third quarter. Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it. Hayward. Couple of cracks at the line now.
Ed and I want to go home too, but fouls like that only stop the clock for all of us.
Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Sixers call for time as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. To Richardson. Knocked loose. That's out. Last touch by Josh Richardson. Hayward. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The ref spit, and that's the game.
Got it at the line. That's a turnover. It goes the other way. Draws the double and still hits.
You see, the savvy players, they can create contact. They can throw their arms into you, even their bodies into you, and as soon as the refs blow the whistle once or twice and you become hesitant defensively, they got you right where they want you.
Simmons with it. He'll run the offense. Celtics have it. Nowitzki to Wade. And counted at the rim.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Now a whistle and a timeout for Philadelphia as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Dirk Nowitzki, huge block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
To Hayward. Curling inside. Nice finish at the rim.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Simmons with it. Looking to make something happen. Knocked loose. Out of bounds the call. Off Gordon Hayward. Shifting gears. Here comes some substitutions.
Number 43, Jonah Bolden.
Enes Kanter pins it. That's his third block this evening.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is... he sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way. To Wade. Short jumper won't go down. To Simmons. Gordon Hayward sends it away.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
And the free throw is good. 3 points on that trip. Simmons into the front court. His guys down big. Dirk Nowitzki rejects it.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
End to end on that one. 94 feet for the basket.
I know I've seen this many times in various mixtapes. Add that one to the list, too.
Almost. Unlucky bounce. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Count it. Old-fashioned 3-point play. That's a turnover. It goes the other way. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Count the free throw as well. Here's Simmons with it up top. Down a bundle to Richardson. Knocked loose. Stays in bounds. Really good hustle to Horford. From the outside, no good. And finishes strong.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
To Nowitzki. Wade. Tough make through traffic.
Defenders had no chance on that one. That's why we call it the elite tier.
Philadelphia with the basketball. Simmons to Horford. Nice pass to set things up. Slams it down. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Easy pass to the rim.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Oh, ferocious slam inside.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Gordon Hayward sends it away.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
That ends the 3rd quarter. The Celtics way out in front. It's the Celtics with the ball as we start this fourth and final quarter. And they have done no wrong to this point. They have this game well in control.
They took control early, and they never let up. The scary thing about this team, if they keep their foot on the gas and then throttle it down, they can win this game by 50.
Al Horford able to recover with the block. Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way. Ball's controlled by Boston. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
Free throw's good. Add one more to the total. This game feels out of reach. Simmons to Horford. Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it.
Can the offense just run some clock here? I've seen enough.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Enes Kanter at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 77% at the line. And he's got the free throw as well. Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way.
You got to go for the score here right now in this possession.
And look out. At this point, they're twisting in the wind.
Were you looking for a response from me? Because I don't really know what else there is to even say. I mean, is this even a game? I mean, we should just start packing up and getting ready to go right now.
Knocked loose. Getting dirty. Loose ball on the deck. So important to take care of the basketball. Easy two on the other end after the turnover.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Dirk Nowitzki. Better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
Underutilized, underutilized, underutilized. Am I getting my point across? Let's see more of that.
Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Celtics. So possession stays with Philadelphia. Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups.
The 76ers, number 19 and number 43, Jonah Bolden.
Chance here for the process. He shoots. Oh, off the mark. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Enes Kanter trying to cash in on the three-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. Free throw's good as they continue to widen their lead. Great dish to set it up. Count it.
You see, Ed, skill levels at this game are at an all-time high. Inside-out threats are tough. You got to make it hard for him to actually catch the ball in those higher percentage areas.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Gordon Hayward at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 82%. And he connects at the line. Knocked loose. Celtics have it. Rocking the rim.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Sixers have the basketball to Tobias Harris.
Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Dwayne Wade. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
He gets it.
In the paint, you need to finish. Just like that.
Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it. Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
Has a look. Harris's shot won't go. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Dirk Nowitzki trying to cash in on the three-point play. A career 87% from the line. And add one more to his total. Knocked loose. Celtics have it.
I tried to work the clock here, but you have to take care of the ball in this possession.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Gordon Hayward at the line for a chance at a three-point play. Hasn't missed yet. Got it. Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it.
Let's just let the clock run out. We got to get out of here. I got a dinner to go to.
He throws it down.
So many people think making assists is creating something razzle-dazzle. Sometimes giving the ball up early is the right play and the most efficient.
Harris. Oh, bad pass, and the Celtics have it.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in the playoff game, it will.
Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up. Enes Kanter trying to cash in on the three-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. He's got it. Three-point play on that trip. Down low for Harris. Off the assist.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Slams it down. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play. Time for some new personnel into the game. add one more to his total. And his kick blocked away.
That one's in the 15th row.
Huge denial.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
Fires the three. Not going down here. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Oh, big finish at the rim.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Here's a chance from long range. Tough shot. Well defended. It's a victory here for the Celtics as they win this one in very convincing fashion. For Jay.
The Celtics put their opponents away in a blowout. They did it with blocks, and they did it with steals. More to the point, they did it with excellent defense. They committed to the grind and got rewarded as a result. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Boston Celtics. The 76ers are no longer suffering through what was a big-time blowout. And every team in this league loses games. You just don't want to lose them like this. I can already see a players-only meeting in their future.
Game track. Defense. Player of the game.
When you see these highlights, it's easy to see how this guy earned the award. His impact on the game wasn't lost on anyone.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. Here's our top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
Here's what's coming up for the Boston Celtics. That does it for us. On behalf of the rest of the crew, good night.